Hey there, folks. I'm Matt Hansen,
And I'm John Johnson.
and you're listening to Planes, Trains, and Comic Books, the podcast where we discuss favorites we've reread, both classic and new comics we want to read, and everything else in between.
And here's the comic we picked this week.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of
Planes, Trains, and Comic Books.
And this is the Halloween.
Holiday special.
Holiday special. That's what I meant. The Christmas special for the year 2022.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
we love doing these every year, just, because there's always some weird one-shot or weird, little arc for, characters and love. And then, Christmas hijinks. So
yeah, we might run out eventually because there's
Yeah.
not that many one-shots. But, we've been lucky because we got to do some Punisher ones and stuff. They usually do them for weird characters that aren't necessarily, the most sales ones. Or
Hellboy was one of my favorites that we did so far.
Yes, for sure. So this week we're doing, or this Christmas we're doing, one from Spider-Man's Tangled Web, which was a series in the early 2000s, and it was kind of like, I guess, Batman: Legends of the Dark Knight, where that series is known for it's just different writers and artists taking a stab or a character or a story arc, of one story arc of that character. So this is the same concept where different writers and different artists would get a little 1 6-issue or single issue run that they would want to do and then dip out. And then it would just be it's not in continuity.
It's just
it might be in continuity. Some people might take it and use it in continuity, but it is just this might have happened one time to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We're not going to follow up on it or anything. So it's kind of an interesting idea. And I have heard that this series is very well looked upon fondly now. Everybody's oh, that was a great series, but at the time it did not sell well. So I think there's only 26 issues of it or something, or maybe 36 issues, something like that. It's not a very long run, but this is issue 21 of that series. And the reason why we picked it, or why I even looked at it, was because when I was searching for Christmas issues, I saw this and it said it was by Darwin Cook and Jay Bone, who are two artists that I love. And I guess Darwin Cook, they don't really tell you what the division of the labor is on this, but I'm guessing Darwin Cook wrote this and Jay Bone penciled and inked it. Now, I could be wrong on that. Some of the panels look like they could have been Darwin Cook drawing it and Jay Bone inking it. But either way, they're close enough in style.
Either way, this feels like a fun, in that vein of, what you kind of expect when you think of Darwin Cook.
Yeah, and Jay Bone is writing an awesome Batman series right now called, or he's not writing, he's doing the art on it, called Batman: The Audio Adventures, which is coming from a podcast from HBO Max, I guess.
Oh, wow.
That there's just old-timey radio style Batman stories.
That's cool.
and they're doing I guess tie-ins in comics. So Jay Bone's doing the art for that, and it's very cool to see him. It's very much like a Darwin Cook style, but it's more rounded. He's got a bigger line for the outlines, and then he also is a little bit more rounded. So that's the only way I'm I think Jay Bone did the art on this, but I'm not 100% because if he's inking Darwin like he does sometimes, he could just add that thicker line. Yeah, he could add that to it. So, but they're all in the model of Darwin Cook, where they look like they could be from Batman animated series or something like that style. And I fucking wish there was a full run of Fantastic Four from these creators or something, because they need it. The way that they draw these characters is awesome. And I'm saying Fantastic Four because the entire Fantastic Four is in this book.
Yeah, I saw the cover had a couple extra Marvel characters, and I was like, maybe they're cameos, but they're
integral to the
they're
story.
very all integral to the
They're
story.
the B story.
Yeah.
So the name of this issue is "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," as it would be.
It was the Fight Before Christmas.
Oh, Fight Before Christmas. Yeah, sorry. and we start off with a little kind of poem or whatever, where it's "'Twas the fight," or "'Twas the night before Christmas," and all through the city, Spider-Man was walking and sadly or whatever. I can't.
Spider-Man was sad, like normal.
Yeah. So what it's talking about is setting up this issue for there's a snowstorm going on in New York, so everybody's snowed in, and it happened suddenly, so people are snowed in at their jobs and stuff. And there just happened to be a bus of orphan Japanese children that are like they were on a trip or something, and like I don't know if it was like a trip to the newspaper. Is that what it was? Like, or they just their bus stopped in front.
I think
of the
it was
Daily
just
Bugle.
like near it. Yeah.
Okay, so they
was
stopped in front of the Daily Bugle, and they're like, "We have to get out of here, kids. There's a snowstorm." So they end up being at the Daily Bugle, and Peter Parker was sent to go get J. Jonah Jameson. Wow, that's hard to say. Like his wife a Christmas present and all this stuff. So like Parker's not there, but he knows about the kids, and that's kind of what the setup is.
Peter came across them.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Peter found the orphan.
Yeah, because that's why. Because J. Jonah Jameson's like, what is going on?
Yeah, why the hell did you bring these kids here? So he goes to the office and says, like, "Hey, boss, I gotta go out and get some presents or whatever. Here's these kids I found. Have fun or whatever." And so Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is swinging out, and he leaves these kids in the office, and they're tearing everything up. And J. Jonah Jameson's on the phone with his wife, and he's like, "It's okay, honey. Like, calm down. Like, I'll be home soon. It's just a snowstorm. I got a ride coming. It'll be great. You know, I'll be able to get home, no problem." And these little kids are fighting all over the place, and his assistant Betty is the one who has to. Is it Betty, right?
Yeah,
her name is Betty.
Yeah, Betty Brant.
Yeah, and she has to, deal with these kids, wrangle them around and stuff, and they're freaking out. And there's like 20 kids. There's a lot of kids.
There's way too many children for J. Jonah, who's not, it's just on the phone the whole time smoking his cigar.
Yeah, and he's smoking around the kids and stuff. It's like classic, like they say, like they do things you would not want an adult to do near kids nowadays, kind of thing. So, but he's like yells at them, like they're being all loud while he's on the phone. He's like, "Quiet," and he's like, and then, so yeah, like they're dealing with it, and then even one cute little girl goes up to him and is like cool, like he's like, "What? Who's this kid here?" And then it like grabs his leg, and he's like, "This thing's on me! Like, get it off of me!" So it's funny, especially when you think that he's like I always now hear him as what's his name, the guy that played him.
Oh yeah, why can I not think?
I don't remember his name. The farmer's guy.
Yeah.
Farmer's insurance guy. But yeah, now I hear like that voice in my head. And then she like, as she's hugging him and like grabbing onto his leg, she's like, "Papa-san," because she's Japanese. And so it's fucking hilarious seeing J. Jonah Jameson being like, "What is this thing? Get it off of me. Where's Parker? Why did Parker do this?"
Why did Parker do this?
So then Peter Parker comes back with toys because he went to get toys for the kids so that, they would not be without toys for Christmas. And he got them all, of course, Spider-Man toys because he's Spider-Man. And he's like, "I'm going to rub it in Jonah's face as well." So he gets them all Spider-Man toys, and they're super happy. They're like, "Spider-Son! Yay!" And then wow, I'm going to say that wrong.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
That's it. Sorry, I was like, why didn't I remember that? Because that's J.K.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Anyway.
So Jameson,
there you go.
Says, "I hate these kids. Like, why did you get them Spider-Man toys? I hate Spider-Man." Like, he's just being a humbug, right? Like, he's the Grinch in this story. Then we cut to the Fantastic Four and, like, the headquarters, the Baxter Building. And we see Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, is holding the same Spider-Man toy, and because they don't like Spider-Man in this. I guess the Fantastic Four had a grudge at one time with Spider-Man, probably in, like, the early days.
I remember some runs where they were like, there's that pesky Spider-Man.
Yeah. So Ben jokingly got Ben Grimm, the thing, got Johnny Storm a Spider-Man toy jokingly as like a Christmas present. So they start fighting, of course. Then we hear that the ladies, Sue Storm and her cousin, what's her cousin's name?
It's Crystal Amicowin. She's an Inhuman. She's actually the cousin of Medusa.
Yeah. So it's Sue Storm, Crystal, her cousin, and Janet
Van
Dyne, who is the Wasp, are supposed to meet Medusa and go to Macy's to go get some presents for Black Bolt, who is Medusa's husband and also the king of the Inhumans. So if you don't know who the Inhumans are, they're just other mutants from the moon. They got their powers from Tarragon Mist. Instead of, I guess, mutations in their genes or whatever. But I guess it mutates.
I think it woke up their mutations or something like that.
I think it mutates their genes. It's not like a dormant gene that's inside of you like X-Men or something.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. I think anybody who breathes in Tarragon Mist becomes immune. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they had a lot of people that ended up with that. Like in the comics, Miss Marvel, it was with that too.
Yeah,
different for the MCU now. But anyway, back to this story.
We're not talking about the MCU. We don't talk about the MCU continuity here, John.
Yes, we do.
This is comics. No, we do to say fuck that continuity.
How dare you, sir?
Hey, if you like it, true thing, cool. It's not my thing.
It is
John
fantastic.
Likes it,
I love it. Yeah,
John is just as big of a fan of the MCU as he is the comics.
I am, but yeah, exactly. I'm not like a, or I don't want to say poser, because you can like what you like, but I will say yes, I adore the MCU just as much as I like the comics. So,
which is ridiculous to me, but anyway,
I don't mind the changes.
Good for you. Anyway,
anyway,
so yeah, we find out. Like, of course, Reed Richards, Sue's husband, is working on science as he does, and he kind of doesn't. He's not necessarily ignoring them, but he's doing something in the lab. And Sue was like, "Hey, Medusa hasn't showed up yet, but we're gonna go and we'll just meet her there." And he's like, "Okay, whatever. Yeah, do your thing." So he does have time, and I like this. He does show Reed like focusing on science while she's talking, but then when she says like, "We'll see you later," he does take the time to give her a kiss and say, "Goodbye, honey.
Be careful in the storm.
Be careful in the storm. We love you." You know, like, so, you know, you get to see like, yeah, he's busy, but he's also caring about his wife. And so they go to the mall. Then we get the dastardly bad people in this comic, the one that, you know, the antagonists, which are, we don't know who they are at first. We just know there's like a tall person and a short person, and they're looking at the poster outside of Macy's that says Spider-Man will be here today on Christmas Eve.
Ooh.
To like, I don't know, sign autographs and hang out with kids, while Santa is also doing his thing, you know, in the same line.
It makes sense. Spider-Man line, Santa line.
Sure, why not? And so they're like, "Ooh, Spider-Man's good." I don't know why they think the real Spider-Man would actually be at Macy's, but the bad guys are like, "Ooh, Spider-Man's gonna be here. We'll get him back." And so we cut inside the mall. We see Flash Thompson has actually been hired to be the guy in the costume of Spider-Man, which is great because they mentioned that he loves Spider-Man, and he's like,
I studied all his moves.
I've been in character
I can do
all day. Yeah, I studied all his moves. Yes, and we see like the mall guys like, we gotta like get background checks on these guys. They're kind of crazy, you know, like for next year, you know. So I thought that was hilarious that Flash Thompson is like, I love Spider-Man, but then we cut back to the Daily Bugle, and Jameson is like, "Oh, Parker, I know you got those toys, but I wanted to say thanks for getting my wife her gift." And then he's like, yeah, your wife's gift. I totally fucking forgot." Like he didn't say that. He just, you know, thinking, "Oh, fuck, I forgot. Your wife's gift. I got to go get that." So he sneaks out to go get that.
Like, "I'll be right back. I got to do something."
Yeah. He sneaks out to go get that. And then we cut to the mall again, and we see Janet and Crystal looking at a unicorn. And they're like, it's like a glass unicorn, like a little miniature that like an old lady would have collections of.
Yeah.
And Janet's like, "You think Black Bolt would want a glass unicorn?" And they're like, "Yeah, why not?" So I thought that was funny. And then in the meantime, Sue Storm is looking for toys for her kids, as you do on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, I don't know why, but what's his name? What's the kid's name?
Franklin.
Franklin said he wanted the Fantastic Four like toy set. Like, why would he want to play with his family? That's weird. And then they're like, "Well, you're just mad because they gave you like a big butt and the toy." And then there's like an ongoing gag that like they made this toy's ass real fat of Sue Storm, and she's like, "I don't want him playing with I don't want him playing with a fat ass toy of me." So I thought that was funny. Then all of a sudden, as Spider-Man's meeting the kids, he starts acting really weird, like almost like he's being possessed or something. And then he starts going around and like beating up people and stuff. It's very weird.
And like and like emptying cash registers,
stealing stuff. It's very crazy. Then like there's Medusa shows up. That's what it is. Medusa shows up, and she also is starting to like attack people and rob stuff.
Yeah, she was in like the tall caricature that was like walked in hiding before she like.
Yeah, she was the one inside that was next to the short man. She was I guess because they were looking for her. They're like, "We haven't heard from her all day." She somehow got taken over and possessed by that short bad guy. So, so she starts attacking people, and you know, if you don't know, Medusa, her hair is not snakes, but it it has a mind of its own, kind of like Doctor Strange's cape.
Yeah,
it's like that. But I mean, it is her mind controlling it, but she can will it to grow and like grab people and stuff. So
yeah, and like crazy grow. Like it's I mean, it's an interesting power. I like it.
Yeah. So also the security guard that's there also gets brainwashed and like steals the owner of the mall Santa's money and stuff. So like, or not the owner of the Santa, but
whoever the head guy,
the organizer, the manager, I guess, of that area, steals his like money clip and everything. So all these Spider-Men are doing that, and then J. Jonah Jameson hears, "Over, we got a Spider-Man stealing money over at the Macy's," and he's like, "Ha! I'm gonna show you kids that Spider-Man sucks."
I love that. Like, yeah, there's a snowstorm there. They've been trapped inside. And he's like, oh, you know what? You guys kids like Spider-Man so much. Everybody, we're gonna get in the van outside, and we're gonna go to the mall so you can see for yourself with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is a bad guy.
He's a bad guy because they're like, "No, Spider-Man's good." He's like, "No, he's terrible." And he's
a menace.
He's even telling them like stories about how he's like defeating Spider-Man. He's like, "And then I built a robot and I chased Spider-Man all over the place and I almost beat him," or like all this stuff. And I think he's just telling them like fake stories, like just to keep them entertained. But they're like, "Spider-Man is good, son. Like, Papa Son, why would you chase him?" And he's like, "Shut up." So yeah, like he's like got a plan now to take these kids to the mall so that they can catch Spider-Man in the act of doing something bad and they'll believe him. So in the meantime, at the mall, we got Janet Van Dyne turning into the Wasp, fighting Spider-Man. We got the Invisible Woman fighting Medusa. And they know something's not right. Obviously, they're like, Medusa's not bad. But they think this Spider-Man is the actual Spider-Man, just like the bad guy, which I thought was ridiculous. But I guess they figure, maybe he needs money, and he'll just appear at the mall when they want him. And but so they're like beating him up and stuff. And eventually, he does snap out of it. And
I think Janet zaps him one too many times to snap him out of whatever he was like being mind controlled with.
Yes, exactly.
I like the idea of like, so you think two superheroes going up to each other, okay, that's a fight, but then you have secretly Flash Thompson just getting his ass kicked by the Wasp.
Shit beat out of him by superheroes. I guess the zap doesn't snap him out of it. It just kind of knocks him out temporarily. And then he comes out and he's got a chainsaw and he starts chasing them around with a chainsaw. And then so as he's chasing him around, I don't know, he's trying to hit the Wasp, I guess, the main thing that he's trying to get, because she was the one who was like hurting him the most. And then he throws the chainsaw at Sue, and it almost hits Sue. She barely is able to block it, and then it lands in the wall, and Spider-Man is thrown. I can't remember why how Spider-Man is thrown. I don't know which one does that. I think it's Crystal. Crystal, who's like her niece, like makes a whirlwind, and throws Spider-Man across the room as well. But this is when all of a sudden, I don't know who is it on the radio that they say they found Medusa? Yeah, Sue tells Reed, hey, on the Fantastic Four intercom or whatever, hey, we're at the mall, but we found Medusa. Someone's controlling her, and Spider-Man's evil too, or whatever, and fighting with her. And so Reed comes out of the hallway as like Ben is sitting with like a turkey on his chest, and he's eating, like he's got his pants open like his belt.
He's very much like Al Bundy on there. He's like sitting on the phone talking to I guess his girlfriend, right?
Alicia, his girlfriend, and he's like, "Yeah, babe, I can come over if you want." And then Reed's like, "We can't, no time for that, Ben. we gotta save Medusa and Sue. They're at the mall." And so he's like, "Oh, gotta run, baby." And then they go to the mall. And then we see the mode of transportation that J. Jonah Jameson has gotten for his bunch of orphans and him to go to the mall to prove that Spider-Man is not good, is a sleigh. He rented a sleigh. Somehow this sleigh rental agency was open during the storm.
I mean, why not?
Sure.
He's got the money for it, I'm sure.
That's true. He probably could call a guy and just be like, "Get out of bed and I'll give you a bunch of money." And so it's fun. I thought the guy even calls him governor.
Yeah.
Like he's in character.
I need you to be in character as well. We got to keep it Christmassy for the kids.
Yes, for the kids. And so they're taking all the kids over to the mall. And then we cut back to the mall and we see Medusa is pretty much taking everybody out. And now Peter Parker, who's gone to the mall to get the present, which was the glass unicorn for the wife of J. Jonah Jameson, he sees now, this fight's going on, and there's a fake Spider-Man being thrown about, and he's like, "What the hell?
What is going on?
What's going on? I'm not here. Why are they beating up Spider-Man?" So then Spider-Man Flash Thompson gets knocked out, and Peter Parker's like, okay, I'll take him in the back, and then I'll change it to Spider-Man, and now I'm real Spider-Man. But no one else knows that. So Medusa is fighting him because he's fighting her now, and then also Fantastic Four and everybody are against him as well because they think he's bad. But then as Spider-Man's fighting Medusa, like he throws a bowling ball, or she throws a bowling ball at him. It misses, and then like a Goldberg, or what is that called? The
Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg, yeah.
It hits one thing, bounces off of another.
A saw flies from the hardware section. It hits a string. The string cuts, and there's a giant present that falls from the ceiling, and that present hits him and her, and they both get smashed. But she gets knocked out, and this wakes her up enough so that, you know, they're like, oh, she's under control or whatever. Then the Fantastic Four shows up, and Ben Grimm grabs him by the neck and is about to like smash him, and he's like, "I knew you were always bad, Spider-Man." And then Spider-Man says one of his quips.
Gotta have a quip.
He says a quip. He says this as Ben Grimm, who's made of stone, is grabbing his neck and is about to crush him. Says, "Hey, handsome, maybe if you're lucky, Santa will give you some rocks in your stocking to match the ones inside your head." And then he goes, "Why did I say that?" And then Ben Grimm punches him across the whole mall.
Thank God it was the real Spider-Man and not Flash Thompson.
Yes, exactly. He would have just knocked his head off. Then we see, like, everybody's like, what happened? Like, you know, Medusa's out, Spider-Man's punched out, everybody's that was like taken over is like, you know, knocked out and unconscious. And then we see someone dressed as Spider-Man, or a smaller person.
Santa Claus.
I'm sorry, what did I say? Okay.
You said Spider-Man.
Yes, Santa Claus. Someone dressed as Santa Claus. It's a little person. They're grabbing a bunch of stuff. I guess the money and everything. I guess the bags that Medusa threw all the stuff in, and Spider-Man. So he's grabbing that bag. Then we see, or is it she? I don't know.
It's he.
Okay. I guess he's got like mascara on or something to be for the part of Santa Claus. But as he's leaving, we see that it is in fact the puppeteer or puppet master.
Puppet Master.
So the puppet master is a bad guy, I guess, probably from the Silver Age, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Who can make dolls of people, like voodoo doll style, and control them. So that's what he did. He controlled Medusa, and just in time, as they get here, the kids show up and they see Santa Claus knocked out, and it looks like Spider-Man's knocking him out because Spider-Man was thrown across the room or whatever and landed on Spider-Man, and then
landed on Santa, yeah.
And then so the kids are saying Spider-Man hurt Santa Claus, and they're crying. And J. Jonah Jameson's like, "See, kids, I told you, Spider-Man hates Santa and he's bad." And then so he gets his like happy time. And then we get like the wrap-up page. It's kind of like the end of this, where it's kind of like a Christmas story or something, or a Christmas carol.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and then, you know, Spider-Man made amends with J. Jonah Jameson. And then as Peter Parker, he gives him the gift, and he's all happy about that. And then we see like the kids ended up liking Spider-Man after the fact, and then Black Bolt got the chainsaw. Like that's what the Medusa ended up getting him for Christmas, is the chainsaw that they threw across. So it was just like a nice little happy ending, right? Like that, there wasn't anything too crazy in this, but we see like Flash Thompson talking to one of the elves that were working for Santa Claus, and he's hitting on her, and it's like everything was great.
Everything was good.
Flash Thompson got some tail. Peter Parker goes to J. Jonah Jameson's house, and he's actually treated nice. And it turns out that J. Jonah Jameson got him Mary Jane, which I'm assuming she was out or something.
Yeah, I think it said like she was caught in the snowstorm.
That's right. So he also got her out of the snowstorm. Oh, yeah, because she's in Philadelphia. Or whatever, right? So he must have flown her private or got her a horse and sleigh to ride from there, Philadelphia to New York or whatever. So she comes home, or she's at the house of J. Jonah Jameson right as Peter shows up. And he's like, "I just wanted to say thank you for getting that present for my wife, Peter." And then like he comes in and he sees Mary Jane's there, and he's like, God bless us, everyone.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, he doesn't say that, but you know, it's like season's greetings, happy holidays from everybody. So yeah, very nice, wholesome ending to that comic. So John, what would you give this one? What'd you think?
I liked it a lot. It was a fun little comic. This is definitely, like I was saying about Hellboy earlier, this has been one of the fun ones that we've read that I really enjoyed. And I'm a big Spider-Man fan. The art style, again, very, like you said, whether it was Darwin Cook drawing or it was J-Bone, just doing it, you know, similar style. It's really great. It looks fantastic. Like that's peak art for me for the most part. Like that and Tim Sale are some of the best.
Yeah, which is, I mean, they have similar styles,
Yeah.
but they don't like copy each other or anything.
No, you can put both in front of me for sure,
And you know
be
who
like,
it
oh, I
is.
know who's who, and like even if you,
And even Jay Bone, like if you look at his characters, they're similar to Darwin Cook, but they're more rounded. Like their jaws are more rounded. They're not as angular and stuff. So you could tell them apart too. So
yeah, so I loved it a lot. It's the holidays. It's fun being in a holiday spirit. So
now that we're looking at this last page, I noticed this, but it says on the last page there's a present that one of the Japanese kids has that says Bone did the pencils and Darwin did the inks.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So yeah,
Thanks. Hey, that's cool. I didn't see that either, but I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah, so they look like little name tags on the presents and it just says Dar inks, Bone pencils. So now we know the division of labor.
There we go.
And I'm assuming Darwin wrote it because that makes more sense.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So yeah.
That one kid has a little green goblin toy. I just noticed that too. That's cool.
Yes.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah, but I liked it a lot. I'm gonna say that this one for like just a fun like
a one issue
holiday
thing,
special,
right?
A holiday special thing. I'm gonna give this one a 9. Like I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
I will say, so for me, this one, the first like 4 pages, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because there's like Japanese kids, and we got like the Fantastic Four, and then mall shopping,
and humans.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Once you get past like the first 4 pages, because that's all set up, but it needs to be there. But then once you get past that and you understand what it's going for, it's a fantastic issue. Like the humor in it's great. Like all the setup for all the different like elements of like the rest of the Fantastic Four going to the mall, and the Flash Thompson being Santa Claus or Spider-Man and all that. Like I loved all that. I thought it was very fun. And the Medusa fight scenes are really cool with her hair, and she pops because her hair is red, and so everybody else is kind of a bluish color until Spider-Man comes in. So like she really pops off the page, and I just love it. So and of course Darwin Cook on inks and J Bone on pencils, so it looks fucking fantastic. Great team there, and the story is by the end of it very heartwarming. And like I'm not a big Christmas guy, like as far as like movies and stuff. I don't give a fuck. I mean, except like A Christmas Story, like the original, the one from the 80s.
You're old-timey Christmas man.
Not even that, because I don't like, before that. I don't like, I don't like, it's your swell.
I was like, you don't like It's a Wonderful Life?
I don't give a fuck about A Wonderful Life. I think they're all cheesy and kind of hacky. They're not original for the most part. They all have the same themes. John just looked at me like, how dare you?
I did. Well, I love Frank Capra's films, and specifically It's a Wonderful Life. But anyway.
Good for you. Anyway, I don't. So and in other news, it stinks.
It stinks.
So yeah.
Wow, what a humbug! That's how you know the more years gone, because I can safely assume I did not listen to it yet, but I've been going back and listening to our first Christmas episode. I don't think Matt is this much of a Grinch, this much of a humbug.
I don't think so. I've never been a big Christmas movie fan. So I just think because it's all the same kind of story for the Christmas stuff,
yeah,
so.
because it's Christmas. What else are you gonna tell?
I'll tell you. Here's my 2 favorite Christmas. Or actually, okay. Everybody likes A Christmas Story. That's fine. Whatever. That's on there automatically. But my favorite Christmas movie, Muppets Christmas Carol. Right.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm down with that.
I'll take that. It still makes me laugh. The fucking mice and stuff.
Yeah.
And Gonzo and that rat. Oh man, that shit's hilarious. But like, that's because it's funny and it is original because you got the Muppets making jokes and stuff. I like that. It's their take on an old story that is done way too much. You know. So, but if it was just A Christmas Carol, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. I've seen this movie a million times. I've read the book. I don't need to see this again in movie form. Yeah. And most Christmas stuff falls in that. This was wholly original, and I fucking loved it. Yeah. Like, this is what I want A Christmas Story to be. It fits in with all the characters. All the characterizations of people make sense. And Ben Grimm is eating a turkey, sitting on the couch, hitting on Alicia. And, like, Reed is still loving, but also a science asshole that's, like, hidden away in his, science room.
Yeah,
and
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, on Christmas Eve. And, Sue is a mom. She's talking about how she's got to make a ham after all this bullshit and stuff. So, like, there's just, it's fitting all the characters and stuff. And J. Jonah Jameson is, being a jackass. And that really fits into the story where he's like, I hate Spider-Man. And then the kid's like, we love him. And he's like, I'll show you he's bad. And that's why they go to the mall. And like all that's tied in together really well with the characters. And I think it fits. And it's a fully original story. So I like this. I like it when they can do something interesting for Christmas, and fit it into the holiday. That's why I like the Punisher Christmas story too, because it's super fucked up. And another Christmas story that I also liked is the Lobo one that we're reading for our Patreon. So if you want to listen to that one, it's called Lobo's Paramilitary Christmas, and you can sign up at our Patreon at patreon.com/planes, trains, and comic books, all one word, and listen to our Patreon. What's it called? Special or whatever?
Yeah, Patreon and
exclusive. That's what it is. Our Patreon exclusive for Christmas. That's the brother to this one, I guess, the free one. And so that one is also a very original story, and I fucking loved it. So it's not that I don't like Christmas stuff necessarily. I don't like the Christmas stuff that we're given in story form usually. So
you're a diehard as a Christmas movie guy.
No, I just think Die Hard's a good movie.
Oh, okay.
And I will watch it on Christmas, but I'm not dying on that hill. I don't really give a fuck if it's a Christmas movie or not.
Okay.
But if you're going to say, let's watch It's a Wonderful Life
or Die Hard,
I'm definitely going to pick Die Hard over.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, but anyway, I will give this one because fucking Darwin Cook's fantastic, J-Bone's fantastic, story art is amazing, and I liked it, and I laughed out loud many, many times. I can give this 1 a 9 as well.
Nice.
It was fantastic. So that's I'm not a Grinch, John. I'm not a Scrooge.
I mean, I think you're still a candidate to get visited by 3 ghosts. So
all right,
that's all I'm saying.
All right, that's fine. We'll see.
I'm kidding.
We'll see, John. We'll see on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we'll see.
Bah humbug to you, sir. You're not getting paid or whatever. I don't know.
You're not getting anything for.
You're not getting anything for Christmas. No turkey for you.
Oh.
No cheeses for us Mises. All right. Yeah. Anyway, so like we said, if you would like to listen to the more adult Christmas story that we're doing for Patreon, which is Lobo's Paramilitary Christmas Special, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/planes, trains, and comic books. And is there anything else we need to cover?
No, don't forget about all of our social medias out there. And with that, we'll say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
All that
Happy
stuff.
Festivus.
And we will see you on the next one.
On the next one.
Bye.